How to be emotionless. Emotions play a crucial role in our lives. They are the senses of our psyche, and they are as powerful as our physical senses. Your emotions tell you what you like and what you dislike, what you want and what you don't, and because they deliver such important messages, you need to bring awareness and acknowledgement to your feelings. However, when you're controlled by your emotions, they can seriously affect your ability to perform and to think clearly in crucial situations. When you need to be at your best, you need a variety of tools to keep your emotions from controlling you. Thinking unemotionally in the moment. 1. Banish self-sabotaging thoughts. Don't whip yourself into a frenzy of self-pity and internal loathing. Media images of the perfect body, the perfect lifestyle, the perfect job and the like are targeted at making us all feel less than. You can choose whether or not to entertain these thoughts. Stop comparing yourself to others. The moment you compare yourself with others, you reduce your own unique worth. You have talents, abilities and foibles that are unique to you. Own them and help them to either shine or disappear, as needed. The comparison is for prices, not people. 2. Don't anticipate the future. Because you'll probably be wrong about the outcome. When we start thinking, oh God, so and so is going to do this if I do this, it's all too easy to start freaking out. If you don't concern yourself with the consequences, there's no fear or worry. Simply act on your gut. You can't predict the future, so why try? 3. Dissociate from the situation. Think of your life and what's going on around you like a movie. Rise above what is happening and pretend you're observing somebody else, not yourself. This action allows you to objectively interpret a situation without involving your emotions. Imagine that you're looking at the situation as an outsider, with no prior knowledge of the subject matter and no emotional involvement. With dissociation, you don't allow yourself to be subjective, instead, you remain objective, like a doctor treating a patient. In neuro-linguistic programming, this technique is called reframing. 4. Think logically. Rather than assuming things based on fear, anger or similar emotional reactions, work purely with facts. Logic often combats out-of-control emotions and allows you to see the reality in any situation. After all, reality is outside your head, not your interpretation of it. If you're afraid you won't do well in a job interview, remind yourself of the facts. First, you wouldn't have gotten an interview if you didn't have the qualifications. Second, if you don't get the job, you may not be a good fit for the company, but it doesn't mean you aren't a good candidate. 5. No emotions have their place. Once in a while, they come in handy. We have them for a reason. If they weren't useful, we wouldn't have evolved them. In fact, studies show that when we go off our gut, sometimes we make better decisions. So if you're feeling something, determine if it's valid. If it is, you may want to stick with it. Keeping your cool. 1. Take a deep breath. Deep breaths keep you calm in tough situations and can cause significant improvement in your overall health. Try some of these methods to use breath to steady your emotions. Breathe in through your nose for 2 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Breathe out through your mouth for 4 seconds. Repeat the pattern until you feel your emotions receding. 2. Calm down by distracting yourself. Rather than remaining stuck in a worrisome train of thought, get up and do something else. Thoughts come and go, you can usher the bad ones out by distracting yourself with new ones. Soon enough, you'll be thinking, oh yeah, I was upset about that, wasn't I? Choose something active that makes you feel good. If you're sad or worried, and you can't stop thinking, run outdoors with your pet, go to the gym for a workout or take your camera and take photos of nature. Do anything that will actively engage your mind and force your thoughts away from emotional ones. 3. Don't abuse alcohol or drugs as a way to bury your emotions. It may seem like a good idea at the time, but you'll wake up in the morning with double the regret you would have had. It's a very temporary solution to the problem, and it will always come back. 4. Keep a journal. Dedicate it to your emotions. Dedicate it to you. It will help you become more self-aware, and it will serve as an outlet. So the next time you experience an emotion, get to your journal as soon as you can and start writing. What was your emotional trigger? Did you sense it coming? What did the emotion feel like? How did it present itself in your body? How did you make it dissipate? Or did it dissipate on its own? 5. Cut out toxic friends. If you constantly find yourself drained and dragged down, it may not necessarily be you. You could just be in an environment that beats you down. Most of us have people in our lives we're just too lazy or too nice to cut out. We've got to stop that. They can rile up emotions that we just don't need. Starting today, go cold turkey on the first name that pops into your head. You don't need that crap. Developing habits to control your emotions. 1. Practice meditation. Meditation is one of the best ways to master your emotions. Through meditation and practicing mindfulness, you learn to acknowledge your emotions, accept them and let them go. Though some people manage to release emotional attachments on command, this is generally only attained after practicing meditation for a long time and maintaining a daily practice. 2. Use visualization during meditation. Imagine something that you associate with a peaceful feeling, and concentrate on that image in your mind. Every time your mind wanders, acknowledge, accept the thoughts and let them go. Bring the focus back to your visualization. If any thoughts or emotions come up, simply acknowledge them. Do not try to change or fix them, just accept them. Then let them go and continue to breathe deeply. 3. Admit when you're wrong. Many issues in life simply don't have a pure, single answer, and you can't think in such black and white terms. When you're wrong, make amends or apologize to avoid sinking into all-consuming feelings of guilt or regret. Your life should have no room for negative emotions. They don't do you any good. 4. Avoid self-sabotaging behavior. No matter how angry, frustrated or worried you are, do not act upon such emotions until you have taken the time to carefully review the situation. Place yourself in a position to think clearly and see the consequences of your actions. If there's even the slightest possibility you might act differently if you sleep on it, do so. 5. Know yourself. If you recognize a situation that might rile you up, take control of the reins as quickly as you can. Leave the situation, somehow tune out, or steer it in a different direction. Only you know what would work for you. But to do this, you need to know you, your triggers, and your go-to reactions. So study up on the only thing you have access to 24/7. Training your brain. 1. Accept that life just is. It's not that it's unfair, it's not that it sucks, it's not that it's great or full of rainbows, it just is. There's no changing it, there's no doing anything about it. You exist, thus it exists. There's nothing flowery or romantic or terrible about it. This is the mindset you need to get into. When nothing is a big deal, when nothing has meaning, emotions fade away. 2. Think community, not self. It's a lot harder to be emotionally caught up in yourself when you're focused on others. In highly individualistic communities, the self can easily become paramount at the expense of a sense of connection with others. In turn, this can cause us to be too emotionally self-involved because the self is all we've got to concentrate on. 3. Create new mind maps. According to neuro-leadership expert David Rock, it's very hard to rewire our neural pathways. Instead, it's a whole lot easier to make new ones. And the good news is that new mind maps, or new ways of thinking, tend to be stronger because they're fresh and highly focused. 4. Monitor your positive emotions, too. This is about being emotionless, and unfortunately, that spans the positive end of the spectrum, too. So when your mother buys you those concert tickets you've wanted, or your best friend walks in the room, acknowledge the person or the gesture, but don't let loose. Smile and be grateful, but keep it at that. 5. Let go of what you can't change. You may feel angry when you find yourself powerless to change a situation, but you have to acknowledge your anger to release it. Instead, focus on changing what you can so that your mind is pointed in a positive direction instead of being mired in misery.